Welcome to the live stream, Arm Wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News. The topic that we are going to discuss today is the rivalry, the history between John Brzenk and Denis Siplenkov. This is a match that has been in the mind of arm wrestling fans since forever, since Denis Siplenkov stopped arm wrestling, or maybe even since John Brzenk stopped arm wrestling. So this is a rematch that needed to happen, and finally this is going to happen. So cannot wait. We are going to discuss some of the interesting matches that these two have had in the future, and let some people join. Let's see how it goes. So first of all, the match is almost, not almost, I would say the match is 100% confirmed. It is going to happen because there have been a series of events leading up to this. First of all, John Brzenk was kind of, I will not say called out, but Denis Siplenkov mentioned in a couple of interviews that he wants to face John Brzenk, and if Denis is making a comeback and he wants a certain opponent, then I think he's going to get that opponent. So John versus Denis Siplenkov is happening, and in the very recent video on True Power YouTube channel, John Brzenk, Denis Siplenkov actually mentioned that he was given a list of arm wrestlers and he had to choose from that list, and John Brzenk made the most sense to him. He wants that rematch. Of course, he does not consider John Brzenk at the top level now, because he did clearly say that it was a list of 5 or 6 people and all of the other guys were too big for him. They were too huge for him. This is what Denis Siplenkov said. So maybe those were top 5 guys in the world, definitely top 10 guys in the world. I can assume Levan Sakinashvili was offered to Denis, Devon Lett was offered to Denis, and we can guess who the other 3 guys were. Artem Morozov and maybe a couple of more. Alex Kudecha, I'm not sure, but out of those 5 guys, Denis Siplenkov did almost say that John Brzenk was the easiest opponent, and these two have a history with each other as well. So this is also why Denis chose John to be an opponent at King of the Table 6. Super chat revenue already 1600 rupees. That looks like a Mark Skigera super chat. Yep, here it is. So for some reason I was not able to see the chat, but I had to refresh it and I just saw the revenue. I'm like, welcome Brian Rowan. Mr. McMahon, good evening brother. Is this match happening? Yes, GB19, this match is for sure happening. Kerr 1, hey Pradeep, hello brother. At what weight? No weight cap, brother, no weight cap. Denis Siplenkov is right now 124 kilos and he's for sure going to be over 130 kilos for this match. I would, if I had to guess, I would guess Denis will be around that 130 kg weight for this match. Jonathan Drummer, the disconnect happened because of King of the Table 5. Denis said that he wasn't pulling someone very strong as his revisit. Yes, he did say that he would like his return comeback opponent not to be a top level athlete. So Denis doesn't believe that he can beat the top guys yet, and he does not consider John to be in the top, and which is an obvious thing to say. Can John Brzenk make top 15? For sure, John is not top 10 in the world. Can he make top 15? Maybe on a good day, but I wouldn't bet on John being top 15 in the world right now. So I don't think Denis is right, and I don't think that John took it in a wrong way. Of course, he mentioned in the comments that what are you saying, LOL, you should have chosen Bowen or Khalid for your rematch. So I just think that John Brzenk is trying to hype up the match, but anything is good. These two, how many months are remaining? In February, King of the Table is in February, so from now, November, December, January, 4 months remaining, and they have already hyped it up to a next level. These guys are legends, not just on the table, but now we are seeing their different abilities. Even they can hype up a match very well. So Mark, thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. Pradeep, the most unbiased voice in arm wrestling with a flex. Thank you very much. I just did some cupping. Maybe I'll start working out and I'll also be able to flex a little bit here. With these skinny biceps right now, absolutely no chance. So Denis Siplenkov has responded, and I made a couple of videos about this topic already when Denis said that he wants to face John Brzenk, when John made that comment about Denis Siplenkov, and now Denis has already responded once again, and he's saying that John misunderstood him. He, of course, respects him very much, and he does not consider him to be a weak opponent. So this is what Dennis was saying, and the match is confirmed. Dennis also mentioned that he hopes that John doesn't get injured against Oleg Petrenko on November 19th at East versus West. So he doesn't want that match to be cancelled. That much he said, which makes it 100% confirmed that this match is going to happen at King of the Table in February. Good evening all, Mark is saying. John's response was Dennis said at King of the Table. Was what Dennis said at King of the Table 5. Okay. Yeah. John will beat him, I think. Brian. Okay, Brian. Nice, interesting comment. I'll ask in the poll. Dennis will, and we'll quickly just talk about the history that these two have had. Before that, let me create a poll. Who do you think is going to win? Engage with your audience. It is plus sign. The format has changed a little bit. Start Q&A. What does Q&A mean here? Okay. Who wins at King of the Table 6? John, Dennis. So the history between these two started around 2008 at Zloty Tour. And during 2008, John Brzenk was beating everyone, literally destroying everyone in the 95 kg weight division. And Denis CYPLENKOV was destroying everyone in the 95 plus division, left and right-handed. So these two met each other in 2008 Zloty for the very first time. John Brzenk was not very confident going into that match. I remember John mentioning that his dad was telling him that what are you even going to do against this guy? He looks so monstrous. And John was not confident. Even till date, you can understand the severity of that match. Even till date, whenever you ask John Brzenk what is his favorite moment in arm wrestling, John tells that it was that moment when he beat Denis CYPLENKOV. It is still the best moment or the best achievement in John Brzenk's career. So that was the importance of the 2018 overalls match. And of course, John was not confident, and Neil Pickup gave a really good pep talk to John Brzenk. He motivated him. He told John that I know you, I know Denis CYPLENKOV, you do have a shot. You can beat Denis CYPLENKOV, trust me. So John trusted Denis CYPLENKOV, and he tried to be more confident on the table, and it worked for him. He beat Denis CYPLENKOV, I would say fairly easily in that 2008 match. And Denis was of course surprised, but maybe not surprised, but he was not disheartened at all. He did mention that John Brzenk was his idol and is still his idol, so that defeat taught him a lot. He was not depressed at all after that. So 2009, a rematch, a big super match between these two. And I think in 2009 as well, John beat him in the overalls once again. But then there was a super match between these two, and 6-round super match in Zloty, Vendetta as they called it back then. And that Vendetta was won by John Brzenk 6-0. John was quite dominant, and there we saw that John Brzenk was really aggressive as well during the first couple of rounds at least. So very great performance. John knew what he's going up against. Denis is going to improve in that 1 year, but John trusted his abilities, and he still was able to beat Denis CYPLENKOV. So again, Denis taking the second loss. Other than that, he was just dominating everyone, both left and right, in the overalls. But he was still not able to conquer the GOAT John Brzenk. Denis, we cannot say that Denis was a fresh arm wrestler, a new arm wrestler, because he was already winning Zloty. He was not losing to anyone, but he was losing to John Brzenk. So his level was good, but not good enough to beat John Brzenk. Maybe he was arm wrestling for 6 years. So let's say Denis CYPLENKOV was back then what Alex Kordecha is right now. So he had that much experience back then. Maybe a little bit less than Alex Kordecha. So can you expect today's Alex Kordecha to beat prime John Brzenk? Maybe not. And then the next year in the overalls, they met once again, and this time John got the good start on him. John was on the offensive, but then he hit a brick wall, and Denis CYPLENKOV just brought John down with a single surge. So maybe John was tired, maybe Denis Siplenkov got that much stronger in just 1 year that he single surge pinned John Brzenk, not even from the center, from a slightly losing position, a single surge pin, and then the baby hop from Denis Siplenkov. Very, very famous celebration. You will never see a giant celebrating, jumping up and down like a baby, like Denis Siplenkov did in 2009. So that showed how much it meant for Denis Siplenkov. Let us quickly read some chats. What the So first of all, guys, link of East versus West official YouTube channel is in the description. It is tagged. If you just click on it, the live stream will not end. You will still be on the live stream. You can just go to the description of this video, click on that, subscribe, and come back. It will mean a lot to me. So Engin Terzi has created a new channel, and I think it is a good idea because the main content, the big interviews and short clips from the matches, the highlights of the matches and short clips from the interviews, these all will be on the new channel. So East versus West Arm Wrestling, you can either search or subscribe to that from the link in the description. 598 subscribers right now. Let's see how many we can gain by the time we end this live stream. We need to get to 1000 and 4000 watch hours as soon as possible. Please, if you can help it, if you can share it in your community, in Facebook pages, it will mean a lot. Question and answer. So Jonathan, yes, I know Q&A is question and answer, but how can I like conduct a Q&A in this chat? Like maybe we should check. Answer viewers' questions live. Okay, say something. But that is just like a comment. I don't understand this part. Denis can't beat John Brzenk in his first serious year in arm wrestling. In 2010, he beat him. Yes, in 2010, he beat him for sure. And after that, no version of John can put him down. Denis elevated. So I do agree with the second part of your comment that I don't think after 2010, John ever had any chance to beat Denis Siplenkov. Maybe after Denis got sick and he had that operation. So other than that, I don't think John had any chance. But the first part, in his first year, no, Denis Siplenkov was not in his first year. Maybe he had about 5 years of experience back when he first lost to John Brzenk. Maybe 6 years. It was 5-1, I think. John gave Denis a round. Yeah, I was like literally 5-1 came to my mouth when I said 6-0. I'll have to check it back. Maybe he gave Denis one round. But same thing as Dave Chaffee versus Alex Kodecha. Yes, officially 6-0, but I always call it 5-1. Even if Denis might be physically stronger than John, how much practicing would affect him? Okay, let's see. Lagia Devorf is saying John is amazing, but I don't think he can beat Denis. So talking about the prediction of this match, I have a very clear prediction. I do not believe that right now John Brzenk can beat Denis Siplenkov. Can John take Denis Siplenkov's hand? I think for sure. I will be shocked if John is not able to take Denis Siplenkov's hand, at least in the first round, or maybe in second, third round as well. So I do believe that John will gain hand control in the first round, but when he will go for the pin, he will go sideways, Denis will just try to roll out with his King's move. So I think it is about 100% sure that we are going to see a King's move from Denis Siplenkov round 1, unless he is just that much strong that he don't even need it even in the first round, which I somehow doubt. He may need that in the first round, but I just don't think. Whenever I try to bring up King's move and John Brzenk, the struggle that John has to beat the King's move, everyone starts talking about John easily pressed through Monster Michael Todd's King's move in 2014, which was true, but Monster Michael Todd just had a 2-minute match with Jerry Cadret, so you cannot take away much from that. Other than that, I have seen John always struggle against the King's move. Not that he has faced many King's movers. Maybe I'll get Brandon Allen, who definitely has nowhere near as strong of a King's move as Denis Siplenkov has, but he has practiced with John quite a few times in his King's move. So he will tell us how strong John is in an offensive manner against the King's move and also in a defensive manner. But I don't think at 58, John Brzenk can beat a good King's move that Denis Siplenkov may have coming into that match. 598. Let's refresh how many subs we got for East versus West. 602, 4 subs. No, not bad, but not really good either. And not very impressive. 610 would have been better. The legend of Dennis is getting a lot of hype. Partially, people are praying that he can get Levan. I don't think Jonathan he can get to that level. I don't think he was ever at the level to beat Levan Saginashvili, especially on the right arm. Both are role models. How can I choose one? Nature lover. So this match, like, imagine going back to 15, 16, 17 months ago. We literally, nobody thought that John Brzenk is going to, maybe Devon Ladd knew that, but other than him, no one thought that John is going to make a comeback. And we are so blessed that not only he made a comeback, he's been competing more than anyone else. So a truly, truly blessed, best generation of arm wrestling fans we are. Like those who just started watching arm wrestling around that 2000, like I'm someone who started in that 2016 period but got serious in 2018. So even I'm not as blessed, because at that time, yes, there were some things but not much. But after COVID, those who started watching arm wrestling after 2020, they have been really blessed. They have not seen that period where there were no arm wrestling matches. Pradeep, is Brian Shaw for real thinking about arm wrestling? Mark, yes, I do think so. So I watched Derek Smith's live stream and he mentioned that Brian Shaw asked for a few local guys contact number who can teach him arm wrestling. He wants to go to practices. This is what I heard. Pradeep, how are your workouts going on? They're not going on. Like literally, I did some cupping on that wrist wrench. We call it wrist wrench. A little bit cupping today, but nothing happening, man. Nothing happening. So now I have another channel to look for. East versus West Arm Wrestling. Engin Terzi's channel, but I am managing that channel. So it is my responsibility, guys. It is Engin has trusted me, my YouTube skills. He has given me the responsibility to operate that channel and to take it to monetization status at least as soon as possible. And it benefits me, it benefits Engin Terzi, it benefits the arm wrestling community. East versus West, Engin Terzi's official channel. Link again is in the description. Still 602 subscribers. Hit the like button, guys. Sup is saying thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother. Was so excited when I saw about Brian Shaw arm wrestling. I've always wanted to see that. Yes, it is going to be interesting. Samaksh Uppal, we need to welcome that guy. We need to be I will not say thankful right now. I think we should stop doing that, like treating everyone who is coming inside an arm wrestling world like a god or something. There was a moment where we needed to do that, but I think right now arm wrestling is a big enough sport that even those massive guys, they like massive in terms of social media presence and respect, not just physically massive. Those guys also have a lot of respect for our sport right now. So Mark Skera is saying 4,400 lbs. That guy's a monster. Yes, he is. And great grip strength. I think Derek Smith may have the strongest grip. He may have the strongest grip out of all arm wrestlers. Maybe less than Khaled Jashel or Vitaly Laletin. But other than that, his grip is really, really strong. And Brian Shaw was like, yeah, your grip is okay. Your grip is okay. This is what I heard him say. You'll wait to see him versus Oleg. Who versus Oleg, brother? Who versus Oleg? Give Dennis 3 months to seriously prepare and we will see. This is what he said in that True Power video. That when 3 months are remaining to the super match, this is when the serious preparation will start. Dennis takes this peaking period really seriously. Like his training is everything, I believe, is written down, like just like maybe Todd Hutchings. Brian Shaw can challenge Levan in about 7 years. We never know. But within 2 years, we will see. Within 2 years, we will see if after 2 years of training, he's still losing to guys who are not in, I would say, top 5 or top 6 in North America. I think such a giant, world's strongest man, 6'7", 6'8", 400 pounds, insane grip strength with 2 years of serious training. I think he should be already around that top 5 range in North America. If he still isn't there, if he's still losing to guys like who are way below, like number 10 in North America, then it may not be possible for him to be like overall champion. John Brzenk and Brian Shaw should do a collab, the two goats. Yes, yes. Dennis will return to 80-90% of his form very quickly. The human body remembers easily. Yes, he's still looking great, like no fat, 125 kilos lean. Don't be delusional. Brian Shaw can't move Levan. I agree. I totally agree with you, brother. Subscribe to East versus West. Mark, you waited for so long. 604 subscribers. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, there's a high probability that in 7 years or less, Levan will have a roid crash like Dennis. Let's see. I think Levan is way too smart for this, and he will be prepared. He will be prepared. He's arm wrestling just once a year from now on, maybe. That will be my guess. So let's see how it goes. Whose idea was to make that East versus West channel? So I was asking Engin Terzi like for almost 5 months now that you should have a separate channel. You have so much of golden footage in those interviews that you can just cut out clips out of that, and you can have a good channel, and it will gain subscribers and views very fast. So I can say that this was my idea, but then I kind of stopped talking about it, and then Engin Terzi said that we need to create a new channel. And before that, guys, Dennis was also talking about John Brzezink's next match, Oleg Petrenko versus John Brzenk. Just, I think we should end this poll here. 67% saying that Dennis is going to win. Let's start a new poll. Let's see what the audience has to say about that next match. And Dennis was saying that I hope John doesn't get injured. And I was like, why would he get injured? Who wins at East versus West 5 November 19th? Okay, let's create some polls. Big Lows is also making a transition to arm wrestling. Yes, he already had a couple of matches at Arm Wars. Petrenko. I should write Petrenko, otherwise people may confuse with Oleg Zok. Okay, that Oleg comment, I got confused. I thought someone was talking about Dennis versus Oleg, since I was talking about Dennis. John. Alright. So how many people are watching? 68 people watching. Thank you very much, guys. We just discussed the history between John Brzenk and Denis CYPLENKOV, and now we move on to John Brzezink's upcoming match in just how many days? Less than a month? A little bit more than a month. John Brzenk versus Oleg Petrenko, right arm super match. There was one time where Oleg Petrenko was considered one of the top 3 guys in that top 8 95 kg weight category. The contenders to win that tournament were either Ongarbayev or Rustam Babayev or Oleg Petrenko, and John Brzenk was no way in that conversation in 2019. And we thought, let's see if John can finish somewhere 6th or 7th. John was also saying, if I win first stage, first round, I'll be really happy. But the time has come. John Brzenk is stronger now than what we thought he's going to be, and maybe than what he himself thought he's going to be. John is really good. I heard him say that he's stronger now. He's in better shape now compared to what he was back in 2010 when he lost to Denis CYPLENKOV, which is a crazy thought. John said that he's in better shape compared to his 2010 shape because he was suffering from injury and surgeries back then. So, good night, Pradeep. Sebin is saying John beats Dennis 4-3. Good night, Sebin. Victor is in the house. Lagia, love the new channel. So lots of people are watching the new channel for the first time. Okay. Interesting stuff. Interesting. Once that channel kicks in, I think then all of the videos will start getting good views. Dennis, okay. Have you heard of Grizzly? Yes, yes, I have. His strength is Levan-like, but I totally different field. But I don't know if he would transition. He just uploaded an arm wrestling video titled arm wrestling few months ago, 3 months ago, where he was just lat throwing people who were trying to hold him with two arms. What happened to Vasily Dotashvili? I have no idea. I had seen him compete a few times, but not after that. I think he was Levan Saginashvili's coach. He got Levan into arm wrestling. You mean the EEP guy? Okay, who EP? John is dedicating more training than ever, plus using arm wrestling weight training, and he said he's helping 90%, 89%. John Brzenk is the favorite to win. Guys, you should definitely support that pay-per-view. $15 for, I think Ryan Bowen is the 16th match. He could have been the 16th match, but David Dadikian versus Morozov is cancelled because Dadikian got injured against Morozov. So still we have 15 match. Engin Terzi went from 15 to 14 matches, then again back to 15 matches. Ryan Bowen versus Zurab Tavbaridze is also there. Like, if in this card you do not see a reason to purchase the pay-per-view, then you are never going to find any reason to purchase a pay-per-view ever, because all kinds of matches, YouTube matches, Ryan Bowen versus Zurab Tavbaridze, and that is great. So after that, great matches. Jerry is participating. Hermes Gasparini. Let's say Jerry versus Hermes, John versus Oleg Petrenko, and then we have Monster Michael Todd versus Evgeny Prudnik. Just these three matches, and Ryan Bowen versus Zurab Tavbaridze. These four matches. Forget about all other matches. Are these four matches not worth a pay-per-view? Just tell me, are these four matches not worth a pay-per-view? You should definitely purchase that if you have the means to, or if you have a club nearby where you train together and you don't have enough money, then you can purchase it together and watch it on a television while training for arm wrestling. How is old man Ron Bath doing? What happened to him? I think he's still competing whenever he gets a chance to compete in tournaments and stuff. Maybe he's going to be at Monster Factory in December. I'm not sure. Grizzly is from the same town as my ex. Okay. Polikalo. John needs to shave his old man beard if he wants to intimidate his opponent. Looking like a grandpa doesn't help. Yeah, maybe his opponents are underestimating him. John Brzenk will be in an incredible shape against Petrenko and Michael, since he's using it as a stepping stone for DENIS. Wow. Stepping stone for DENIS. I'm not sure he knew anything about the DENIS CYPLENKOV match while this Oleg Petrenko match was already set. I want to see Levan versus Levan have back to super matches. Okay. No, he got hurt at the Monster Factory. Ron Bath. Okay. Interesting stuff. Let's see how many subs we got. 608 subscribers. Good. Now that is good number. I got like 10 subscribers from this live stream. Ron Bath injured his left last week practicing with Corey West at Michael's gym. Okay. And he's saying he injured his right at Monster Factory. He did not mention right. So Frez M and Mark is saying the same thing. Do a poll, ask how many super matches in a row Levan can win against top 5 in the world. I don't think that needs a poll, Arm Legends. I would say 2. I think he can beat 2 guys. Mark is saying Corey is a beast. Yes, Corey West. I think that guy can be like top 10 easily on the left arm. Not right. On the left arm, I think that guy is already top 10 in the world. Hermes weighs maybe 130 kilos right now. The mirror distorted his proportions. Yeah, I was surprised. Like many people, they can't even figure out that it is the mirror that is making him look like that. Like, of course, he can gain weight, but he just cannot change his shape like a Mr. Olympia or something within a couple of weeks. 2 with who? Any of the 2 guys, like anyone, I would say. So the poll is saying 90% John Brzenk. Oleg Petrenko is a very strong guy. He's a very strong guy. In a hook, I don't know that much, but many arm wrestlers are saying that it may not be possible for John Brzenk to beat Oleg Petrenko inside a hook. He may have to top roll him. So considering the fact that John may have only one option to go against Oleg, but then again we saw that Oleg Petrenko got beat by Raymond Antonovich a couple of times when he got tired. Of course, he did say after that that he did not train enough. He underestimated his opponent. That is why he lost 2 rounds in the end. But still, he did lose to Raymond Antonovich from Latvia, which is not a good sign if you're going against John Brzenk. And I agree, it was like couple of years, not couple of years ago, but maybe 1.5 years ago. I mean, the will for sure motivates John more than ever. Ron Beth Ron Beth recently beat Chan Shaw. There is always something like when you're like John Brzenk, who has arm wrestled literally everyone, not everyone from the recent times, but especially back then, like we were talking about the Dennis match. Dennis has the last win on him, so John has a reason to beat Denis CYPLENKOV. Denis CYPLENKOV has never beaten John Brzenk in a super match format, so he also has an even bigger reason to compete against him. Same thing against Oleg Petrenko, even though John has not faced Oleg yet, but he was considered the top guy in that top 8 95 kg weight class. So to beat one of the top guys at 100 kg, John had the chance to do that against Kidargali Ongarbayev, to beat a top 100 kg guy. He's not number one, but one of the top guys in the world. John came short. This time he again has a chance to beat another top 100 kg guy. Can he do that? Let's see if he can. Fresh, Khalid would win Ryan. Yes, Khalid never pulled a blown up round. Do you think King of the Table should switch to best of 5? Yes, I will make a detailed video about it. Maybe inviting a few guests. Short talks, like I may ask Neil Pickup, Engin Terzi, and a few others to give their short thoughts about this 6 versus 5 round super match. Which one is the best? Of course, I've mentioned it many times. I like the 5 round super match. If you have top rolled someone, if you have hooked someone, if you have pressed someone, you have beaten him 3 times, I don't think there is anything left to prove after that. Is Dennis versus John officially confirmed? Yes, I would say yes, 99%. I felt sorry for Khalid as much as I love Bader for his support of Khalid. He had no clue what he was doing in the corner. Yeah. True, great match. So I think that's about it. Thank you very much guys for joining. I really appreciate your support. Don't leave yet. 41 likes. I'll end this live stream after I get 50 likes, and I need to end it quickly. It is like 30 minutes past midnight. I need to go to work tomorrow, so please take me to 50 likes, and please take the East versus West channel to at least a few more subs. I think we deserve that. God bless everyone. Mark is saying, I've always disliked 6 round super matches. I agree. Yes, I also agree with that. But they are great for fans. Lagia, I know you are also not competing there just like me. You're also a fan. But still, for the majority, for the newer fans, for 80% of fans, I would say 6 round format is better because it gives more opportunity for comebacks and more entertainment, more drama. This is the only reason why I agree with the 6 round format, to draw more audience. But for competitors, I don't think it makes any sense. Pradeep, I like your chai with the fresh milk. You like your chai with fresh milk or rainbow? What is rainbow? I don't know about that. Yeah, fresh milk. It would be awesome to see Mark Felix transition to the sport. Do you think Farid can compete with the top? So I watched Farid's interview, Farid Osmanli's interview with Engin Terzi, and he did say that he already thinks he's for sure in the top 10, and he has every reason to think that. Even though yes, he beat Vitaly after a match, but it wasn't like Vitaly had 1 minute wars with anyone. Vitaly had that 1 minute war with Farid. And he's basically a hook arm wrestler. Now he has transitioned to top roll, and he still beat Vitaly Laletin. It was a couple of fouls on Vitaly, I think. Vitaly was trying to flop press him, but he took Vitaly's wrist right in the center. And he has every right to believe that he's top 10 even now. Also, Pradeep, did you get your passport? My offer to sponsor you for a trip to Dubai still stands, brother, for the next King of the Table. I will for sure get it till then. I'll be going for King of the Table 6. Not maybe. I think For sure, I will be going for King of the Table 6. Engin has also asked, and man, I like my fingers just don't work. Like I do not have any excuse like why I haven't got. I have a few excuses, but also laziness has to play a big part in that as to why I have not gotten my passport yet. But for King of the Table 6, East versus West 6, I think I may be attending both of those. Let's see how it goes. Rainbow is condensed milk. Okay. I don't know what condensed milk is. So fresh. I think a 5 round super match is way better. Tetra pack? I think you're talking about. Don't think I'll change it from 6 to 5. Devon's endurance shenanigans. Yes, yes. As I said, it is good. It is not about Devon only. It is about viewership, audience as well. Imagine Levan versus Hermes, Jerry and John versus Dennis on the same card. Going to be amazing. So I don't think King of the Table pay-per-view is available yet, but East versus West is going to be November 19th. Link will be, I don't think link is in the description of this, but it is very simple. You should type East versus West pay-per-view Core Sports and it will take you to the website. $15 pay-per-view. You can also get signed t-shirts for $100. You should contact Engin Terzi for that in the Facebook group or in personal chat. कैसे हो भाई आप नितेश? बहुत बढ़िया. I'm good. प्रदीप भाई सोने वाले हैं. Yes. Says Brzenk beat Corey. And subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. Old School Labs are the sponsors of this channel. If you have the budget, if you want to purchase some supplements, please consider my link, my code AWNEWZ, Arm Wrestling News, 15% off, and buy the pay-per-views. Thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate your support.